Hey guys, this is Frankie and today I'm going to show you how to make bikini cut underwear. First you're going to need your favorite fabric. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need some thread in the color of your choosing that matches your fabric. A 3/8 inch elastic. Some pins to place in your fabric for holding. And you're going to need the K3881 Kwik Sew. And then you're going to lay your pattern out. As you may be able to tell, I trace these patterns out because I find out that when you cut up the pattern you no longer can use the other sizes, so since there's only 3 pieces, I ended up tracing the fabric out. Lay it out, cut it up. Here is the back piece. You're going to want to match good side to good side. Here is the lining of the underwear. Well, not the lining, but the third piece that connects everything together. And I'm just demonstrating good side to good side. Now I am pinning the lining into the underwear. The instructions always say have some like cotton lining. I didn't have it, so I just cut 2 of the self fabric, and now I'm just pinning the lining in. You can pin it however you want. I just decided I wanted the wrong side facing in the underwear, so that when you look at the underwear when it's finished, you see the wrong side versus the right side. To you, since it's your underwear, it's up to you whether you want to see print or not. I just decided I don't want to see the print. Now it is time to sew it up. I've got it all pinned. I'm using a serger. If you do not have a serger, do not panic. You can use a zigzag stitch on your machine. I just happen to have a serger and I wanted to use it. Be careful when you're sewing not to sew over your pins. This can be dangerous and it can also mess up your machine if you are not careful. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but anyway. I like to, when I'm serging, I like to have a little string when I clip it off, not just have it hanging. This is just me showing you the sides together, stitched good to good, bad to bad, how it all looks. Now it's time to attach the front part of your underwear to the little in-between part of the underwear. And we're also going to be sandwiching this in because you got 2 layers and you want it clean finished on the inside. This is how the pattern goes. So I'm just taking the outer layer first, and then I'm going to apply it to the back, or actually no, to the front, because we already did the back. You match up your notches. Here I'm showing you good side to good side. This is how you can check yourself if you're not sure. So now we're going to take the lining part of the underwear and we're going to sandwich it in. What I did was I ended up kind of folding it over on top so I can stitch it down. So it doesn't get all twisted inside and then you're unable to untwist it and then you have to undo it and all that kind of stuff. So pin and play around with it. and this fabric I'm using, it was really wanted to roll a lot. I don't know why, but it was really rolly and twisty and twirly, and I had to try to get it under control. So yeah, time to sew her baby up. Now, if you have a fabric that you don't have to really pin a lot, then, you know, use as many pins as you need. You don't have to go crazy, but just make sure you got enough that you need so that you can sew and stuff doesn't go flying each way. Now I'm just here showing you guys the finished stitching on the inside and the outside. This is the inside right here. Now it's time to sew up the sides of the underwear. You got the crotch done, now it's time to get the sides done. I'm just matching it up, pinning it up, and sewing it up. Now here's the finished sides, all done. Now the instructions tells you, depending on what size underwear you're making, is how long you need to make the elastic for your waist and your leg opening. So just use the size you need, and then once you do that, you do 3/8 overlap of the elastic. That's why I measured it, and you do the zigzag stitch back and forth, back and forth. Now what I did was I zigzag stitched both edges down, and then I did a big zigzag stitch in the middle. So I did like a small zigzag on each end and then one big old zigzag to make sure everything is down. Yes, I'm using different colored thread other than white because number one, it helps you guys to see it, and number two, the fabric is very colorful, so it's not really gonna show, because at the end of the day, you'll watch the rest of the video, you'll see. So right here, the elastic, you have to mark 4 points on it. You just fold it in half, you mark, you mark, you mark, you mark. This is, oh well, later in the video, I'll show you what I mean, what you're gonna do for this, or why you need this step, because it says it in the instructions. So you got your four marks. Now we're ready, we're ready, we're ready. Now we're ready. So what you're gonna do, I already did this, but I pinned it. You're gonna take your elastic here and you're gonna match up your notches that you have to the fabric. Now how you're gonna match it to the fabric, you basically take the seams together, or you take your side seam and then you fold all the way down to where it meets. Then you're gonna pin it. You're gonna do the same thing to the other side. You're gonna take the seam and then the pin, and you're gonna take the one side, pin, the other side, pin, and I'm just demonstrating that right here. Then you're gonna take the elastic and you're gonna put the elastic on the wrong side of the fabric, and you're gonna match your marks to where your pins are. If you were using a different, I'm just using regular elastic. If you were using like picot fabric, picot elastic or something like that, then you would probably do it on the right side. That's what the instructions say, but I'm not using picot elastic, so you're gonna put it on the wrong side. All pinned up. You do it to the legs, you do it to the waist, you do it for all of the openings. Now it's time to sew it up. When you're sewing it up, you zigzag stitch in the center, and you also make sure that you stretch the elastic while you're sewing it. If your machine is like me, you kind of have to stretch and pull it as you're going at the same time. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm stretching one way and I'm pulling the other way so that I can feed it through the machine. I do a back stitch. If you don't want to do a back stitch, then you can always tie the knot off. But here is the finished product. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over so it clean finishes it. And then you're going to zigzag stitch the edges down. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm using a zigzag stitch. Now when you stretch the elastic, you're also going to have to stretch it when you do this step as well, because you're going to have a lot of gathers and stuff like that, and you don't want to stitch over the gathers, because then all that hard work, you just destroyed it. So you want to stretch as you're sewing, as you're going along. Because the last thing you want is stitch over it and then you've got all these little like gathers you sewed up in the I don't know about you, but that always bothers me when you finish sewing and you sewed up something and it's got like you stitch gathers into something. So you gotta stretch so you can avoid that. Here are the finished underwear, the front end. The back. I like these. I think they came out very well. Thank you.